Yeah, yeah, Roy Shaw, prisoners, mate. He was a proper tough nut, you know what I mean? He would let no one take the piss. Everybody respected him. And I like Roy because Roy Shaw was only, I think there was three people I mentioned the other day. The third one to walk across the centre in Wandsworth was Roy Shaw. So that's Johnny Hannon, Frankie Fraser, and Roy Shaw, yeah. And no, anybody else would get battered. You know, Roy Shaw, he didn't give a monkey's, mate. He just walked across that centre, and everyone respected him in prison, yeah. Parkhurst, you know, he just ruled the roost. You know what I mean? He was the number one. He'd fight anybody. He wasn't a liberty taker. You know, like a lot of people, he was not a liberty taker. He had, I mean, him and what was it? Him and the other fella had a Paul Sykes. Was it Durham? They had a fight. There's a big question mark about that. You know what I mean? I mean, you know, maybe Paul Sykes. I don't know. Maybe he says he knocked out Shorey in 10 seconds. Maybe he did. Maybe, you know, it's like everything. If you don't see a punch coming and it's on the chin, mate, you can be knocked out that easy. You know what I mean? Yeah, I can believe maybe he knocked him out the first time, but the second time they met, I don't know so much. You know. Paul Sykes was a very hard man, mate. Paul Sykes. You know, I mean, he'd been in that prison from an early age. Fit, very strong. He's in the powerlifting team. He broke records all over. You know, I've got a lot of respect for Paul Sykes, even though, you know, Paul Sykes talks about, you know, bashing up sharks and things like that. But that's Paul Sykes. I mean, ain't like, you know, he ain't trying to be big time Charlie Potatoes. He's just Paul Sykes, you know. And, you know, to see a guy that big, that powerful, and to, you know, to go to pieces over a drink, yeah, is a shame. You know, it's a shame. It's the same as the people I just talked about before, like Billy Williams. Bill, the same. You know, got into the heavy scene, and then got into drink, really bad, and getting drunk, yeah. And the next thing you know, there's kids, five kids that steamed into Bill and bashed him up, you know, because he was drunk. You know, and it's a shame. Same as Cliff Fields, mate, when he got involved with it around Travellers. You know, listen, he could have smashed them to pieces one at a time. You know, no problem. Same as Billy Williams. But when they come on you like that, you can't. You know, you just, what can you do? You know what I mean? Just and look what happened to him, Cliff Fields. You know what I mean? Be fair. You know, that little splint of glass that went in his eye completely finished Cliff. You know. And as a cabbage, he became a cabbage after that, didn't he? It's a shame to see a big, powerful man like that, you know, heavyweight, who's fought some good fighters, just to go to pieces, you know, like that. And Lenny McLean, look at Lenny, you know, I mean, Lenny really, I got a fair play to Lenny, that when he come out of prison and he got involved with lock, stock, suits, lock, stock, in it, and other things, he got himself together, yeah. He wasn't one of them guys that you know, he had a few drinks. He wasn't much of a drinker. He never took no drugs as far as I know, yeah. But he pulled himself together then. You know what I mean? He pulled himself together. But when I see him in Brixton, and they really monged him up, mate. You know, they really give him a lot of heavy stuff. It's either they give it him or he wanted it because he couldn't cope. You know, a lot of people in prison, you know, I mean, that you see them lining up at the counter to get their meds. You see them lining up, maybe 50, 60 people lining up to get their medication because they can't cope. You know, the mogadongs and all them shits and Lalgatrals and what have you, yeah? They're taking all that crap, you know, because they just can't cope. You know, they just can't cope. And prison now is about you know, medication. It's all it's about, you know. But I really like Roy Shaw. I like Roy. He was a very hard man, mate. Very fit guy, powerful guy. is a bit like me. I'm very powerful. Yeah, I'm very powerful. The weights. I mean, I've been doing weights all my life. I've been really punching all my life as well. I'm always, I haven't been down the gym for about 2 weeks. I haven't done the training for about 2 weeks because I got a bit ill. I had this bug that's going about and just slaughtered me, you know what I mean? There's no point in going down the gym and mugging yourself off, you know what I mean? You can't do nothing. So I just left it. But now it's coming back to me again. I'm starting to eat well. So I'll start the gym very, very soon. I'll put it on video, yeah? But, when I met Roy Shaw down the Beckett, down the Thomas. By the way, Thomas Beckett's finished now. It's all over. Thomas Beckett now. You'd have thought someone in the boxing community would have bought that. What they're gonna do? Turn it into flats, houses, out flat or big house or whatever. It's a shame. I'd have thought Boxing Board and Control would have put a bit of money about to get hold of the Thomas Beckett, but they've let it go, yeah? But that's what they're doing it, you know what I mean? They lose all that history. It's the same as the Wellington Highgate. I think the Wellington Highgate's gone now. That was Georgie Francis' gym, and also I don't know the one at where I was to train. It's what's it called? It's the Noble Art Haverstock. I don't know if that's still open. I don't know if that's still used as a gym. But a lot of these now are being closed down, yeah? It's a shame. It's a shame, Roy Shaw. I mean, I used to see him training at the Beckett, mate, and wow, he used to train really, really hard, you know what I mean? I mean, the hardest trainer I've ever seen down the Beckett, well, the hardest trainer I've really, really seen is Colombo. Steve Riches. He used to, I was just watching him train, mate. He was like fantastic. I was there when he done the thing for Box On, when he done that for Frankie Warren. I was at Box On. I was at Box On when I fought Brian Hall, but I'm on about Colombo was at Thomas Beckett, and they come to film him for that Box On film, yeah. And Steve Riches was. I see him and Roy Shaw get in the ring, mate, and Roy Shaw knew he had someone who could take a bang and give it back, Yeah, I like Roy. He wasn't a liberty taker. That's what I liked about him. He wasn't a liberty taker, but he could have a fight. It was always with Joe Pyle. Roy Shaw, Joe Pyle was like a very close. Same as Freddie Foreman. Fred Foreman and Roy Shaw, another two that was very close together. Yeah, but he was a nice guy. It's funny, that the way just 1-2 words can make someone. I don't like that guy, mate. He's too flash, like Lenny McLean. When I fought Brian Hall, and I come out the ring and he's there, Lenny, saying you should have knocked him out. I'd have knocked him out. My name's Lenny McLean. Straight away, I got that dislike in him. Straight away, I wanted to have a row with him. Straight away, I didn't. Straight away, there was no. What was it? People. You can go somewhere and someone will start on you and you give him a clump, knock him spark out, and next thing you know, he's a face. You know what I mean? And people go, well, no, he did better name. People sometimes freeze just on someone's name. You know what I mean? And it's like Tate. I said, I never said. A mate of mine. He said that he was told by I get all mixed up with names, He was told by Johnny Critterton that I knocked out Tate. I didn't even know who Tate was. I didn't know who that Essex mob was. I didn't know who they were. What? Because I hit someone on the chin, knocked him down, and it sat on his arse. It was Tate. And everyone's going, you couldn't have done Tate. No way. Well, I didn't know it was. Do you know what I mean? What? Because you think if I'd have known who it was and took the piss out, like he was taking the limits, trying to snatch that money and all that, you think I wouldn't have hit him on the chin anyway. You know, but I didn't know as this geezer called Tate. I didn't know. How do I know? You know what I mean? But then I'm told by my mate that it was Tate by Johnny Critterson. So fucking what, mate? So what's the big thing? What's the big thing? You know what I mean? And it's like, as I just said, people, you know, can say things, faces, and you don't know who they are, you know, and you hit them on the chin. Then later on, someone said, "Oh, you know who that is, don't you? Who that was?" And you go, "No, it's so and so, so and so." Well, so what? So what? So what's the big deal? So what? You know, is what his name is going to frighten me? Makes all the difference in the world. If the geezer's on my case and he's there in front of me, I'm not going to take his name and address and say, "Well, how are you, mate?" You know what I mean? I'm going to bump him first, and later on, if someone says to me, "Look, you're in trouble because they're looking for you," then it's too late, isn't it? It's what happens in life, isn't it? You know, you can't be, you know, just bumping into someone, "Oh, this is so-and-so, so-and-so," and they take the piss out of you, and you think, well, you know, I'm not really bang, get hold of that. And it's what life's about, isn't it, you know? But go back to Roy Shaw. Roy Shaw, man, he was a legend, a proper big legend, yeah? And I'm a legend, you know what I mean? I'm a legend for things that I used to do, power-wise, strength-wise, and things that people can't, that I don't know who's ever done that before. Me, I used to, anybody remember the old door locks, not the double ones, the single doors, the brass ones? I used to rip them off, mate. I used to rip them off, like, not easy, but I used to rip them off. I used to sew them off. Honestly, I was so strong. You know, the double ones, I used to turn them, and I had like a rivet in there, about inch rivet, and I could snap the rivet. Yeah, I was really, really powerful. And look at Roy Shaw. I mean, Roy Shaw used to take doors off. Yeah, he used to, you know, listen, a prison door, mate, that gets slammed a million times in the course of its lifetime, yeah, and it's still there. Roy Shaw put a book behind it, power, and just take the door off. And he used to do that quite a lot, boy, you know. Some people have got that phenomenal strength, and he's one of them people, you know, when you think about when he come out of prison, mate, he was someone to you know, someone to respect. You know what I mean? Someone to respect. And he didn't you know, he wasn't a liberty taker. But when you looked at him, you knew, you know, even though he was short, you knew that he was a force. You know, that is that aura. He had that aura about him. You know what I mean? It's the same with Lenny McLean. You hear a lot of people could talk about Lenny McLean. The aura he had, 6'4", 6'3", big guy, always growling. You know, couple of guys that I know, you know, talk to me about Lenny when I worked on the door with him. My mate Kevin Suma worked on the door with Lenny McLean, and he was just saying, you know, the geezer was an animal. You know, he growled, and the floor was like, you know, like you get them crocodiles, isn't it? You've ever seen crocodile? When it in the middle of the water and it shakes, and all the water's as similar to Lenny. They reckon that Lenny McLean is a growl, and the whole club is shake. Yeah, seriously, yeah. You know, and that's where, you know, that's why Lenny would always be that legend. He'd always be that legend because you know, he worked in clubs on the doors, and everybody that worked with him that just respected him a lot and absolutely proved themselves in that way. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. It's the name that used to frighten people, you know. And then when I see when I actually first met Lenny, Lenny was about, I don't know, 15 and a half, 16 stone. He wasn't 17 stone. He was about 16 stone. you know, and I looked at him and I thought, well, who is this geezer? You know what I mean? Who is he? He ain't no one. He ain't nothing, you know what I mean? You know, and later on, he got on, but it's not everyone. You get on the roids, mate. You get on the steroids, and you know, a lot of people, it's okay getting on them, but it's okay if you can't get off them. If you can't get off them, mate, you know, like Lenny was on them for a long time, and I'm not quite sure if Lenny died of an heart attack, but I should imagine them steroids didn't do him any favours. You know what I mean? Because steroids, especially the old type, they're for muscles, aren't they? And your heart is a muscle, and you know, it builds muscle up around your heart, and your heart can't move as fast as what it should, because the muscle is getting more and more big, you know, and it can't really move the heart, and that's what happens, mate. You know, and not only is it that, it's also the arteries, because that's what gives you a heart attack. The arteries, when the arteries clog up with all that shit, and the blood can't get through, and there's no oxygen for the heart, and it just collapses, yeah. So because of the roids, the way the roids are, it puts shit in all your arteries and all that, you know, and that's what happens, you know. You just keel over. Just can't, you know. A lot of people that get on that roids, mate, you know, there's a lot of these big people that take him. You see, look at Ronnie Coleman. You know, Ronnie Coleman. Look at the state of Ronnie Coleman. A lot of them. Look at the state of Arnie even. You know, and Sylvester Stallone. They all get on the roids, mate, and then all of a sudden you look at them and it's like, you know. But you know, it's anyway. Forget about the roids. I forget about the size of people. But you know, about Roy Shaw, really. I like Roy Shaw. I really like Roy Shaw. As I say, when I met him down at Beckett, when I got in the ring with Roy Shaw, he punched me about a bit, and he was punching from the floor, and he hit me on the chin. He wasn't a person that, well, I can't say that because maybe I've got a good chin, but he wasn't the sort of person that could hit you once and knock you out. He had to do it consistently, you know, 4 or 5 punches and hurt you, yeah. Lenny, when I sparred with him down the ring, same sort of thing. Growling. He wasn't all that. He wasn't all that, mate. You know what I mean? And you know, but when he got to about 22 stone, and he's 6'4", you know, that's a big man coming at you. You know what I mean? It's a big man. If you're 15, 16 stone, and you got a man 19 and a half stone, 21 stone, or 22 stone coming towards you, it's a bit hard to get out of the way of, isn't it? It's like, what can you do? You know what I mean? If you're throwing punches at him and they're not even hurting him, you're in trouble. And that's what Lenny, and that's how Lenny was. It's a shame. It's a shame. Listen, you know, I get it from my end. You know, when I do a podcast with people, they go, yeah, you're lying. These people say you're lying. They ain't lived their life. They don't even know. It's only they think. They ain't know. The people wasn't even there. They weren't there when this was happened. It's only that in their way. Nah, it couldn't have happened. Nah, no way. Come on. No way. I can't do it. He can't do it. Well, I can know, you know what I mean? This is what makes you sick about certain things on YouTube. You know, people, you can tell stories and people go, nah, that could never happen. You know, okay. What, it can't happen? It could never happen. But when it happens, what do you say then? Like, well, yeah, you know, what lie the geezer? Don't stop lying. Mate, people out there ain't lived a life, mate. You ain't lived their life, you know what I mean? I've lived a life. I've lived a life, brother. I've been there, done things, you know what I mean? Anyway, but it's not about me, it's just about people that, Paul Sykes, like big Paul Sykes, man. I like Paul Sykes. I like him because he used to tell stories, even though he fabricated his stories. You know, the only one I don't believe is when he hit the shark on the nose. That's the only. But he's what he is. Duffy, Duffy would have had no chance with Paul Sykes. Duffy would have got smashed to pieces by Paul Sykes without a shadow of doubt. They say Duffy was a bit sneaky. He'd come round the side, bump it around the side. Well, you know, if you're having a fight, you know, it's not all Queensberry walls, is it? You know what I mean? It ain't like that. So, yeah, maybe he could do that. Maybe he could have done it that way. But Paul Sykes, I like Paul, mate. I like Paul Sykes. I like the man what he was. I like, you know, trained, come out, turned professional, and got into the ring with Gardner. I know Gardner stopped him in the 6th round, but you know you've got to remember that Paul Sykes always done all his life is train and in prison, weights, you know, on the bag. But you know when you come out and you want to turn pro, professional fighters train a lot differently to bodybuilders and weightlifters. You know, professional fighters, you know, I don't know what it is about boxing and fighting. It seems to me that your lungs are the greatest part of your body, you know, and you know, I don't know what it is really. Like people that run miles and miles and miles, you know, and they look at their heart, they can't believe how their heart is. They can't believe it. That the heart is just, well, man. People on weights, the heart is not the same as people that box and train boxing training. You know, you get a boxing trainer that will train. He would go in a bag for 5 rounds, 3 fights, smashes to pieces, get in the ring, a load of sparring, get on the skipping rope, skip for ages, bag work, everything. You know, he'd be in the gym for 2 hours, 3 hours. All he's doing is lung work, you know, cardio, bump lungs. You get a guy on the weights, trains for an hour, goes up the gym, goes on the bag, blows after 3 minutes. His lungs just won't have it, just collapse. Different sort of training, and you know, it's the same as runners, mate. Runners' lungs and hearts are just, well, they're just, you know, when I remember when I was training as an amateur, yeah, and I was training also to be a professional fighter. When I was go at Haverstock Hill, Noble and I used to go to Wellington Highgate with Georgie Francis and Mickey Duff and that lot. And I used to run, me, Leslie McIntyre, black guy, we used to run 10 mile a day, nothing. We start off doing 3 miles, and then the end, about a couple of weeks, 3 weeks, 2 weeks after that, you go increasing it, you know, and all of a sudden, you know, I remember years ago, yeah, when I was training as an amateur, and I used to run a lot. I used to run every day, all and Acton, Chiswick, everything, yeah. Come back up where I used to live, up Gunsbury Lane, Big Hill, and I used to bomb it up there, yeah, really bomb it. All hills coming home, going down, and all hills coming back, yeah. And I said to my brother Keith's done the marathon, you know, he'd done the marathon, my brother, very, very fit Keith. But his lungs are like mine, a bit shattered at the minute. It's hereditary. My dad died of lung disease. I got bad lungs, my brother's got bad lungs. Anyway, so me and him, I said to him, come and go for a run. And he went, okay. I was like, mate, he had no chance. I left him halfway. I just left him, man. I was gone. I was like a jet. Yeah, and it's like, and I thought to myself, because a couple of times as a kid, I run with him, you know, and he'd muddle it. And my brother Keith, my family, my dad's side was all very, very hard men, yeah. Very hard men, mate, dangerous men, yeah. And my brother and myself picked a lot up from the family. We've got them genes. And my brother, I'm surprised my brother Keith never got into boxing, because, mate, he had one of the hardest punches that I've ever had on the chin. He's hit me on the chin so many times and knocked me over. You know, he could really bang, my brother, and he could really fight, you know what I mean? So, you know, why my brother Keith never got into boxing, yeah, I don't know. But we was brought up very hard. We didn't have a dad for a long, long time, yeah, and we was brought up very hard. And you know, my brother made me very, very, it made me hard, you know what I mean? Because I used to get good ideas from my brother and my sister quite a lot in my early life, you know. But it made me a man, yeah. It made me a big boy, you know what I mean? And whereas I was always fighting in school and all that, getting hardened to it, you know, and then got into the fighting game, you know. I loved the fighting game. I loved it. I used to love sparring. I used to love that, you know. I don't know what it was. It was like one of them things where I used to like to get hit. Does that sound a bit crazy? Does that sound a bit schizo? You know what I mean? Yeah, but I used to get in the ring and I used to like to get hit, you know, to see how hard a guy can hit, you know, and ring your head will go, and, you know, just walk about again, and yeah, just you know, take blows to the head. Maybe that's why I was a bit on my heels. Yeah, but I used to love it, mate. And what these you know, this country is a bit fucked up in a way, because people that are good at sports, yeah, if you're good at something, they shouldn't take it from you. You know, they take it from people because they're weak people. You've got all these people, judges, barristers. So there's a few barristers that play rugby and all that, yeah. But you know, they're very weak people. You know, they don't like anybody who's strong and powerful. They don't like that because they're weak, can they? Look at them. Come on, they all wear dresses. I mean, they've got to be weak to wear a dress. You know, but as I say, when you go in front of a judge and the judge sees that, you know, you've been a boxer and you want to be a professional fighter, or you are a professional fighter, and they take that license from you, you can't fight never again. What are they doing? What are they saying? That could be you for the rest of your life. That could be, you know, boxing. You know, okay, we all make mistakes, yeah. But them judges, they don't give you a chance. If you're good at something, they take it from you because that's the wicked they are. They're wicked people with just a little pen, bomb, take that from him, bomb, take that from him. You know, but footballers, some fantastic footballers, yeah, they take it from them so they can't turn professional. Like good fighters, boxers, they take that from them so that you can't turn professional. Good fighters, mate. You know, how many people out there know good fighters? How many people out there are good fighters and got nicked for something stupid? Anything to do with GBH, ABH, and the judge just takes that from you. You know, I mean, when I was at court, and I was up for a bad charge, yeah. But don't take it from me. And I was up for attempted murder on a police officer, yeah, and armed robbery, yeah. And I more or less just turned pro up the Wellington Highgate with Georgia Francis, Mickey Duff and all that game, right? And, you know, when they come in my house, wasn't there. But anyway, I was so close to turn professional, and I could have been a good fighter. General Gardner, me and him at the same time. and I was, and I knew that I was gonna be good because I could bang, yeah. And to go in front of a judge, and a judge to give you a bigger sentence because you've got weapons at the end of your arms, yeah. These two fists are weapons, and you hit that police officer. Right, you're saying that you hit him with your fist. We're saying that you hit him with a paving slab. Why would I need a paving slab? Why would I need to hit a police officer with a paving slab when I've got two paving slabs on the end of my arms? And he said, because of that reason, Mr. Hill, I'm going to take your license. You will never ever be able to turn professional. You're a dangerous man. I'm going to give you like big sentences, and that's been took from you. You want to be a fighter, and that's took from you, mate. Whereas in America, if you've got done something like that, they don't take the license from you. They give you a chance to get it back, because most fighters are more or less bad boys. Bad boys, they're people that can't read, can't write, and they love their boxing. You go to the gyms now, you've got these kids that at school and just, they're not all that good, but they can fight, they can box, and I'm just saying to them kids out there, right, who's maybe kids, maybe boys that are watching my little video here, yeah? Try not to get yourself so you come in front of a judge for GBH, ABH, for hitting someone on the chin and breaking their jaw or whatever, and you lose your license. Yeah, try not to do that. Yeah, because and a footballer and this, don't let these judges, don't let these people take your life from you, because that's what they want to do, mate. They don't want you to. They don't want you to be, in that. So you've got so much money and so many people like you. They don't like that. They don't like that. They want to be the only ones that can go to these places, sit down and have a big meal, and they don't like people like us to go there to their little clubs, to their Langens and all that, and their Odin's clubs and all that, They don't like that, They don't like it. And the, what's the other one? What I used to go, anyway, they don't like it. The Les Ambassador, I used to go there as well. They don't like it when you go to these places. They don't like it at all. Who's this guy? We don't want him in the club. I don't want it, mate. I don't like it. They think that they rule. They rule. You know what I mean? They rule because you don't talk like them and you haven't been to their schooling. Come on, please. When you look at all these people that have been to all these private schools, Oxford, Cambridge, Eton, all these big schools, look at them. They all look the same. They all look the same. They're all like it's in the bread. They all look the same. Glasses. They all look the same. And they're the ones that look at him. Come on, be fair. Look at Keir Starmer, what his name is, Keir Starmer. Look at him, mate. Look at the state of that guy. Be fair. Be fair. Look at the Home Secretary. What does I feel that name? Look at her. You know what I mean? And these people, look at them, mate. They're not even real. We're not even real people, mate. You know what I mean? But anyway, I'm not going to go there because I don't get involved in this politics shit. But anyway, I can go on and on and on. I started off talking about Roy Shaw and Paul Sykes. I've got my next one. But I really liked Roy Shaw. Roy Shaw, he was a mate. He was a mate, I liked him. No matter where I went, and I always liked to be around him, because he was, like, even the way he walked was the business. I always thought, I know everyone was going to say, nah, no way, but I always thought, when Lenny McLean fought Roy Shaw, that it was a get-up, because Frank Warren, I should imagine, 99.9% of Lenny McLean's fights were all get-ups. Especially the ones he won. If the ones he won were all get-ups, they had to be. The ones he's lost, they weren't get-ups. People didn't just, you know, maybe they were. I mean, you know, like Johnny Waldron, when Johnny Waldron fought Lenny McLean and just bashed him up the first time, knocked him out, and then Frankie Warren got hold of Johnny Waldron and said to him, look, you know, don't make sure Lenny can beat wins this. Lenny came rushing up to Johnny Waldron to hurt Johnny Waldron, or Johnny Waldron just stuck a left hand out and knocked Lenny Spark out. You know, and it's the same with Cliff Fields. You know, really, Cliff Fields told me and Jimmy Tibbett, right, that Frankie Warren offered him X amount of money to fall over, so Lenny could win. But Cliff Fields, being Cliff Fields, he's got too much pride. He went, no way. And when Lenny smashed Lenny, I think it was about the 5th round, he bashed him right up, yeah. I think he like held Lenny up for a little bit of time and then bashed him up right at the very end of it, yeah, 5th round, I think it was. Because like people like that, you can't buy them, you can't buy that, you know. Yeah, listen, everyone says you don't like Lenny, you know. Yeah, they are right. I didn't like Lenny. I didn't like him at all. The only reason I didn't like Lenny was because of the time when I was at the Rainbow, when I jumped out of the ring and he told me that he could bash Brian Hall up, and what a fool I am, I should have beat him up, you know, wet crap. Who are you talking to, mate? You know what I mean? I'm Lenny McLean. I know, who the fuck's Lenny McLean? It was Lenny McLean, even though I knew who he was, but I didn't know that was Lenny McLean. You know, like, I thought, you know, and that I didn't like him because to me, he was too flesh. To me, he thought he was 10 times better than anybody else, and he wasn't. Anyway, bang, bang, rail, nice ones. Later.